All right, guys, we're getting to the meat. Okay, we are getting to the meat. And you know what is another way to spell meat? Team. Team. That's right. We're here to talk about the team right now, you guys. Very important. Muy importante. The people, right? Again, I told you this is a relational experience, not transactional. This is relational. So what we're going to do is learn about the team, okay? So how do you qualify your team? Well, we talked a little bit earlier about how to qualify the lender. Let's dig a little bit deeper into that, okay? So when you have a lender, try to find the versions like us in the lender world that specialize in rental property investing. Of course, they're in your local market area. They can move and shake. They have creativity. And they see the big picture in what you're trying to achieve so they can help guide you. They are your financial hero. They are the leader of your finances. And they're very key in this. A lot of people underrate them. They try to negotiate their rates down. They go with the best deal. But again, this is about building your team. And it's very important that you value them in their leadership. Another key part of your team is the realtor and the property manager. They're the glue that binds. They're the ones that help analyze the properties, scrub the properties, walk the properties. A lot of times in rental property investing, the realtor and the property manager are the same person. Sometimes they're not. That's okay. You want to really qualify the right leader for you. Personalities need to match. Experience needs to match. Specialization needs to match. They need to be specialized in this space. If they're selling industrial real estate or they've done 12 deals in their life, that's not who you want to talk to. Trust me, you want to work with somebody that's excellent at what they do. How do you figure that out? A lot of times it's people are referred with value from other people that you know who do rental property investing, maybe peers you have, people like us even that could give you a referral of someone that we have vetted over the years. People will help guide you to the right leadership, but it's up to you to qualify them and make sure they're a fit for you based on your goals. And now that you know your goals, that should be much easier for you to do. Your tax attorney or your CPA, which we talked a little bit about earlier, but I wanted to give you a few facts on understanding the tax piece of this, okay? There are more than 75,000 pages in the IRS tax code. Okay, that's a lot of pages, right? Each ream of paper has 500 pages, so do the math on that. There's 8 million words in the tax code and counting, and over 9 billion hours were spent on compliance by the IRS. Now, these statistics were actually from a few years ago. So imagine where they are today and where they will be when you watch this video. So I don't want to beat a dead horse here, and I don't want to overwhelm you like I promised not to do with the tax stuff, but I'm planting another little seed in you to help iterate how important this shift in thinking is as a business owner that you are growing into being. Remember, you are changing the entire trajectory of generations of your family to come. And being a business owner, you think about taxes, you think about tax strategy, okay? So I'm just planting the seed again. Take what you like and leave the rest. Also, vendors, very important commodity on your team. These people are typically a little underrated. Now, granted, usually the vendor relationships are owned by the property manager or the realtor that you're working with. However, when we qualify our vendors, we have come up with a term we call the vendor golden triangle. There's 3 qualities that we look for in our vendor relationships. We want them to be on time, and that means they show up on time for sure, but really on a deeper level, they do what they say they're going to do when they say they're going to do it. And if they don't, they do the right thing and they call or they reschedule or they honor the situation in a way where they say, I'm sorry, I can't make it. This came up, but here's what I'm going to do. And then they deliver on that. The second quality is the quality of the work. Quality of the work is really important. Now, we're not looking for Michelangelo level work here for most of the properties that we're talking about for our buy box criteria, but we're not looking for DIY level quality either. They need to be a professional. A professional always has a certain quality and level of work. And the third quality is they need to be reasonably priced. Okay, so for the quality of work, the price needs to match. They're never going to be the most expensive bid. A few other relationships that you're going to have throughout the transaction is your inspector and your title company, and maybe even the processor and the underwriter with your lender. But don't worry about that. Honestly, a lot of those are going to be picked by your realtor and then the loan company. Sometimes even the seller makes those decisions on the title company. But it's just important to learn that these are all the people that you're going to be collaborating with. So yeah, you just want to pay attention to how the relationship goes and make sure there's a synergy. It's so important, very important that you work with the right people that are in alignment with you so you can row the boat in the same direction toward your goals, friends. So over time, you're going to learn how to delegate. Oh my God, freedom. Delegation should be tied with the word freedom. It truly is. Now, don't get me wrong. We've all probably had relationships that hurt us or that we hurt them or that just didn't go very well. That's okay. That's the business of people. What you have to do is you have to get back up, dust off your knees, and move on. Everything in life is just a lesson. Remember, we already talked about this. We're going to think about the big picture here, and we're going to grow in the right relationships and leave the wrong ones behind. And as you get more proficient, as you get more experienced in this and qualifying your team and having boundaries and standing up for your piece, you're going to get really, really good in delegation. You're going to love it. It's one of the most beautiful benefits of being a business owner. Now, one thing to keep in mind is your realtor cannot be just a transaction coordinator, okay? There's two sides of that coin. Now, you can't think they're a transaction coordinator. You have to give them more power than that. You have to enable them better than that to be the leader that they are, right? Especially now that you know how to qualify better. Let them be that leader and step into that leadership role. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to screw something up or set wrong expectations or you're not going to love every second of every minute of this, okay? But leaders know how to lead. Let them lead. The other side of that is you knowing when to let them lead. So you can't be super controlling and think they're an idiot and wonder, can I cut them out of the deal? Like, no. Let them lead and let them be in the right position so you can have more time and have your time focused on the right things that it needs to focus on. It's so important to let the right people in the right seats be on your team. Don't be a lone wolf. Don't be a lone wolf. It's so lonely. You learn the hard way. Find a way to empower them and they will empower you. It's a much better way. Relational versus transactional. Remember, long term. So leaders, at the end of the day, all we are just professional problem solvers. I'm sure you can relate to that. I know you're a leader. I know you solve problems every day in your specific field. There's no difference in what we do. So partner with people that match you, equally yoked, so y'all can grow together. All right. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you don't understand something. That's how we learn, and that's how we grow together. It's okay. How do you know what you don't know? That's why you hire a team. That's why you hire leaders. The point is they can scale you and grow you way quicker than you ever could on your own. Sometimes we get a question that is more common than not because there's a lot of realtors in this world. And that question is, my brother-in-law's a realtor. What do I do? Okay, if your brother-in-law is a realtor and he's specialized and experienced in rental property investing, he's a great fit. If he does residential real estate. Now, if he doesn't do that and you just are concerned about working with him, which, believe it or not, is a real thing. I mean, you're exposing your money, you're exposing your goals, you're exposing a family relationship that's now going into a professionalism. So there is risk in that. There is real risk in that. This might be one of the first business decisions that you're going to have to make. How do you want to start your business? Do you want to work with somebody that knows what they're doing? Or do you want to work with somebody that's a family member that doesn't, but they're a family member? If you find yourself in the former and you want to work with a professional and you realize your family member is not it, here's a way to have that conversation with them. Bob, I love you and I want you to be successful, but I'm going to be honest with you. My concerns are you just got your license a year ago or two, and you've not sold any rental property. I want to work with somebody that specializes in this space. How can we grow together in this? Okay? Open up the conversation, right? Put it back on them in a way. Maybe their brokerage has somebody in their brokerage that specializes in rental property investing, and maybe your brother-in-law can partner with them in the deal. Maybe there's a way where you say, Bob, I want to buy this rental property. This will not be the last property I buy, but I know you specialize in traditional purchase and traditional sell. I would love for you to be involved when we're ready to purchase a home that we're going to live in. But this is a little bit of a different thing, and I need to make sure we get it right. I'm sure you can understand that, brother, because we want to be successful together as a family. Is that fair? And just have the conversation. Might not be easy, but either way, there could be a price. How do you want to pay it? I'm a big believer in being honest and upfront and having a dialogue and figuring out how it's going to be a win-win. So remember, team is very key to this. Very important to find the right people.